Hey yo, what is going on everybody? Depraved Slasher, and we are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are...
HellaDepraved.
Yes, we are. So, this is going to be a fun rap battle. This was the most requested rap battle.
Okay.
Out of the last video... For those of you that don't know, ERB, I follow a basic pattern. I do a fan-requested video, and then I do whatever the next one in the series that hasn't been done yet. So the last one I did was Billy Mays versus whoever the fuck he went against. Because then they actually pulled in
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. Because then they actually pulled in the other infomercial guy.
Yeah.
That does the actual ShamWow commercials.
Yeah.
That was actually the next one in the series. Because I basically just go through season 1. Now, with that being said, this was the next requested one. This is Steven Spielberg versus Alfred Hitchcock. And I'm torn. Right? Because horror is a passion. I love horror.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were going through and looking at the movies that the two men have made, in my opinion, first off, Steven Spielberg has a far more extensive and glamorous and amazing list. I mean, the dude's done Gremlins, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., the Jurassic Parks, Artificial Intelligence. Fuck, the list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Terminal, Lincoln. Some of my, I haven't seen Lincoln, but it was on the list. And dude's just done a lot of fucking movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And you look at Hitchcock, and I think of the movies that I've seen out of all those, the two that I really know Hitchcock for are Psycho and Birds.
Vertigo.
And I mean, we've seen some other titles. He's done one movie that was just called Murder. I mean, there were a couple. The Man Who Knew Too Much, I've heard of. Never seen it, but I've heard of. And a couple others. And of course, he's also in that older age of horror that I kind of just missed out on.
Right.
Because I really did start watching during the 90s slasher boom.
Right.
80s, 90s slasher boom. So I grew up more with the Freddys, Michaels, Jasons. And don't get me wrong, there are some other movies in there. Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Stuff like that. But over and above all, I kind of just missed out on the whole Alfred Hitchcock craze.
Right.
And even going back and watching them, Birds is ridiculous to me.
Like, you don't live in Australia.
Funny ridiculous. Know. Like, I laughed.
Right.
Through most of it.
Although, to be fair, I laugh my way through most horror movies.
Yes, she does. Which causes me to laugh. But then the other one was Psycho, which I love the story of Psycho, but again it seems a bit ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Steven Spielberg has a lot of ridiculous stuff too. I mean, really think about the Gremlins.
Or Jurassic Park.
Or like when dude gets eaten off the toilet. Like, come on.
That's so great.
But,
I really do laugh through horror movies, people.
But even still, I mean, these are two very well-known directors.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the situation though where I want Alfred Hitchcock to win because of my love of horror.
Okay.
But I want Steven Spielberg to win because I'm just, let's face it, better movies, in my opinion.
Right.
Better just all-round
Probably
movies.
because they're filmed later with better technique, better, I mean.
Right. So I can see that.
So, more relevant to... Yeah.
I'm just saying. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Me too. The Goonies is also pretty amazing.
E.T. Overrated to me.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites.
Fun fact, E.T. never said E.T. phone home.
Home phone.
He said E.T. home phone. What do they call that again? When a mass group of people believe something that happened. Mandela effect. Honestly, I also own way more Steven Spielberg movies. I own like 3 than I do Alfred Hitchcock movies.
Which is like 0?
Huh?
Do you own any Hitchcock movies?
If I do, they would be in the Horror Classics collection.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm still not even 100% sure it's in that collection. I have any of his movies in that specific collection.
Right.
Now, okay, so as far as disses are going to go, I'm definitely expecting Hitchcock to be dissed because of Birds.
I hope so, but you know.
And technically, this is a review. Here's my problem. It's been so long since I've seen it. I don't remember anything that's said.
I've seen it.
So it's like a
At least
re-reaction for
once,
me,
but
I guess.
Just like,
I don't know. I don't remember much, if anything, at all
right.
in terms of disses. I am, like I said, I'm expecting Birds references. I mean, I'm expecting them to riff on each other's movies, to be 100% honest.
I don't know much about their personal lives. Is the thing.
That's going to be the problem that's also going to
Yeah.
hit me. I don't either. I don't know how Hitchcock died. I'm not even sure Spielberg's still alive. I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Guys, I'm sorry. 2020 has fucked up my life.
Everyone's life.
Yeah, I am excited for this, though.
They always do a good job.
They do. And people seem to love this because, like I said, it was the most requested.
All right.
When I say most requested, guys, like one person requested it, 4 people liked it, one of them being me. I'm just saying. Request.
Yeah, if you want to see
Like,
others.
if you like what people request. That's how you know I'm going to get to the next one. Just saying. Don't request at the end of this one because the next one's going to be the next one in season 1, whichever one's after Billy Mays versus Benjamin Franklin.
That he hasn't already covered.
Right.
Yeah.
So, request on the next ERB reaction. ERB reaction. I do cover tons of different
Fantasy
rap
rap.
battles of whatever. Cartoons, anime, video games.
Rap battles in general.
I think
Yeah.
the next one's going to be a Star Wars. I don't know. We'll see. No, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to waste any more time. It's been like 7 minutes. So without further ado, Steven Spielberg
Versus Hitchcock.
versus Alfred Hitchcock. We're going to slash up and break down the best that we can. Let's go.
Upper crop bottles of our story. Steven Spielberg versus Alfred Hitchcock.
Picture a child sitting next to a projector, learning from your films to become a much better director. Now,
So already starting off, he's already stating he was inspiration.
Or learning to become a better director based on the shit that Hitchcock did wrong.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Because I don't think many people really consider Hitchcock have actually been like anything that he's did wrong. Like I never hear anything negative about Hitchcock's films, other than my thoughts. Now I don't also go around looking for reviews on Hitchcock movies, but most of what I've seen, it's usually generally very positive reviews for Hitchcock as
Right.
both a director and a movie maker. But I think it's taking what Hitchcock's done and improving upon it.
Right.
Is where he's kind of going with it.
And also the projector would be about Hitchcock's time.
Right.
Era.
Every time.
to a projector, learning from your films to become a much better director. Now, picture a $3 billion dream machine who can blockbuster all over your crop just to see.
Blockbusters.
Blockbust all over.
Right.
A blockbuster is huge movie. $1 million blockbusters. They're the ones that come in, break records, which he's done. And then his records get broken, then he breaks them, then they get broken.
Jurassic Park.
Yep, it's a Jurassic Park reference. There's not a toilet around though.
It's too bad. Or a goat.
Now picture a $3 billion dream machine who can blockbuster all over your crop just to see. Try to do it with me, Alfred, you must be psycho.
Already.
Right. Crop duster. I'm not sure what he was referring to.
Me either.
Okay.
Walking farts? When you crop dust somebody, you walk by and shit on them?
Yeah, that's definitely not what it was.
Hold on.
Blockbuster all over your crop just to see.
Your crop duster scene. Okay, no. So he would be talking
There's
about...
some,
There'd be a scene in a
yeah.
Psycho movie that he's referencing.
you know, yeah, Hitchcock movie.
But I do love how he goes... Unless he's talking about his shitter scene. The crop dusting scene, as in, like, Could be a double. But I also love how he already goes into breaking out the movies. It's like, you must be a psycho. He says, I'll pull out Jaws, which is one of Steven's movies.
It's a huge one. Yep.
Again, one of those movies I just missed in terms of enjoyment. I don't like Jaws. I find it very boring. I like that sound. I was actually using it the other night in hilarious effect. But
I
What
mean,
movie
I
was that we were
do
watching?
laugh when. Oh.
was that one of the Friday the
It
13th
was
I did
when
that in?
Yeah, I think it was when he was swimming at some point.
No, it wasn't even a swimming thing.
It wasn't?
He was creeping through the woods because it was during the remake.
Right.
But yeah,
I laughed during Jaws too, but I was bored
I slept.
most of the movie.
It took me until I was an adult to be able to sit through it without falling asleep, and even then, I was like, I would much rather take a nap.
Right.
Anyone that knows me knows I hate sleeping, and if I would much rather take a nap than watch your movie, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It just means my preferences aren't what some other people's were.
Right.
But
You enjoy cat naps.
I do.
Try to do with me, Alfred, you must be psycho. I'll bring back Jaws to take a bite of your lifeboat. I'm always so on top of my game.
Is there a lifeboat movie?
Duel and Lifeboat were both capitalized. So I'm guessing those are ones that we're missing in terms of references.
Right.
You must be psycho. I'll bring back Jaws to take a bite of your lifeboat. I'm always so on top of my game. I get the vertigo. My jet's in the terminal waiting for me to murder you.
Murder is one of Hitchcock's movies. Terminal was one of Spielberg's movies.
Yeah.
Vertigo, another Hitchcock movie.
Yep.
So he's going back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always so on top of my game. I get the vertigo. My jet's in the terminal waiting for me to murder you. I rock the Academy and the DGA. You rock as many Oscars as that slap Michael Bay.
I don't think he has any Oscars. Or if he does, it's very, very small amount.
Okay.
But I don't know if the Oscars were really around back when he was...
That I don't know. Again, I don't know. But I'd guess not, because he is...
Michael Bay is also one of those directors. He's very well known for doing bad movies. Or I won't say bad movies. I won't say bad movies. He's very well known for overdoing explosions in movies. Anytime there's a Michael Bay movie, it's always in reference... Like, you hear somebody talking about Michael Bay, it's always going to be in reference to over-the-top explosions.
Okay.
Or action scenes. Michael Bay directed Ninja Turtles.
Oh, no.
You remember the one we were
Yeah.
watching earlier, the newer one? And again, the whole sliding down the mountainside and then rockets, explosions, like...
Yeah, I rock the Academy and the DGA. You rock as many Oscars as that slap Michael Bay. You're filling up those jowls with 3 steaks and souffle. Check the trade, see me amble to my next big play.
Amblin.
I don't know what that's...
Me either. Now, now, I don't remember which movie... Because on all of Alfred Hitchcock movies, it always opens up with him talking about something. From what I've seen. I think there was one or two where it opens up with him eating, which is what that's in reference to.
There's definitely, and he's got the bulldog jowls, and
Right.
he normally has the cigar, and yeah.
You're filling up those jowls with 3 steaks and souffle. Check the trade, see me amble to my next big play. I produce cartoons and make games for all ages. You produce Jimmy Stewart making one of 2 faces. Maybe next time I visit, you'll be a bit more gracious. I'll kiss my full moon and just bask in my greatness.
Kiss my full moon and just bask in my greatness.
Maybe next time I visit, you'll be more gracious. I don't know what
that's in reference to. Somebody's gonna... It'll be Kratos. He'll be like, okay, knuckles crack.
Right.
We
There's
love you,
all
Kratos.
the stuff that you missed.
Which
we
Let me
appreciate,
tell
but,
you all
like-
the ways you've been fucking up lately.
Right. Can we get a triple snap? I can't snap, so I have to ask him.
No, we love you, Kratos.
I do enjoy the comments.
Boy!
Next time I visit, you'll be a bit more gracious. I'll kiss my full moon and just bask in my greatness.
That was a close encounter of the turd kind.
Close Encounter of the Third Kind again. Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
And then he's making fun of the movie Turd Kind. He's saying your verse was shit.
Right. Well, and he also got mooned.
True.
Yes.
I'll kiss my full moon and just bask in my greatness.
That was a close encounter of the turd kind. But there won't be a pretty ending this time. Half your billion should go to John Williams. Now brace yourself as I reveal my brilliant...
Who's John Williams?
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm going to guess it's probably an SFX person. Or
Don't
maybe
know.
a co-writer.
I like that he's in front of the Bates Motel.
Yes.
Psycho.
time. Half your billion should go to John Williams. Now brace yourself as I reveal my brilliance. I'm the master of suspense so intense.
Loved the subtle
break.
psycho in the middle of his rhymes there. Good reference. Thankfully, it was only one.
Yeah.
That is
A
my
little high pitched.
text tone or notification tone on my phone. Anytime I get notifications, it goes ree, 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 ree. You realize, I mean, you've seen how many notifications I get on a regular basis. It's why my phone is always on silent. I should just change it,
You really should.
but I won't because I'm too lazy. And it's just easier to turn the volume down.
Now brace yourself as I reveal my brilliance. I'm the master of suspense so intense. No defense against Hitchcock once he presents. My skills are...
Hitchcock presents.
Hitchcock's presents is... And then I love when they did that. He turned sideways and did the profile. Which he was known for. As the shadow that would walk into the middle of the screen until his head matched up with whatever the fucking design was. And then it would light up. He'd turn and look at the camera. Very classic. Oh, side note. Something I meant to mention at the beginning of this. I was also kind of excited to do this battle because of Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By.
Right.
Which was taking off of the album that Alfred Hitchcock did, Music to Be Murdered By. Even to the extent that even the cover art was him doing the same thing with the weapons up
Right.
to his face. And makes
Kind of
me-
figured.
Yeah, it's... I'm just saying.
Of suspense so intense, no defense against Hitchcock once he presents. My skill is enormous, orchestrating brilliant performance. You're more horrible than Megan Fox's acting in Transform.
Now that I have seen.
I think Michael Bay did Transformers.
Really?
And if I remember correctly, he is in this rap battle. Because I think 3 or 4 more directors show up. If I remember correctly. Because I think that's...
I don't even remember that much.
But yeah, Megan Fox's acting was terrible. She's also got weird thumbs.
I wasn't looking at her thumbs.
I never was either till somebody told me and then I seen them. And then I was
Right?
like,
And then you can unsee it. Yeah.
My skill is enormous, orchestrating brilliant performance. You're more horrible than Megan Fox's acting in Transform. Come on! Fish puppets and muppets to stir the fears up. I squeeze screams out of chocolate syrup.
The old school special effects.
to play on words here is brilliant. Because the old rhyme, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. And he says, I squeeze screams out of chocolate syrup because the nursery rhyme. But at the same time, using the chocolate syrup as blood for a lot of his
blood,
black and white movies. I love the play on words. Love the play on words.
Come on! Fish puppets and muppets to stir...
Also love the diss on the whole puppets thing.
Right. Muppets.
That too.
the fears up. I squeeze screams out of chocolate syrup. I'm the best mamma jammer ever stood behind the camera. Damage panderers and haunt you like the last Indiana.
Ooh, shit. Yeah, the last Indiana movie was terrible. The last 2, technically now. I don't know if there was another 1 or 2 that were done
You're
after
talking
this
about
video
Crystal
came out.
Skull, but what was the third one?
I don't remember.
I can't remember the order they went in.
I don't either.
Yeah. Okay.
Temple of Doom was my favorite.
I love Temple of Doom.
Because Temple of Doom was the one that had like the dude ripping
Monkey.
out people's heart.
Yeah.
I don't remember the saying that went along with it.
Oh. There was.
I keep wanting to go to the saying.
I just enjoy
But then the
it.
only weird chant that pops in my head is the one from Child's Play. Dewey Dimbala.
Yeah, probably not that, but yeah, I enjoyed the
Give me the power, I beg of you.
eyeball popping up in her soup. Monkey brains. Raiders of the Lost Ark was also decent. Yeah,
The Last Crusade.
was that the?
I think that was the third one.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one with the Holy Grail and the yeah.
I'm the best bammer jammer ever stood behind the camera, damage panderers and home.
I also like his cadence that they've given him rap-wise. A little bit more than Steven Spielberg's.
So far, yeah.
Don't you like the last Indiana?
Give me a Tylenol. Stop rhyming, y'all.
Yeah, this is the one where they have other directors.
You called it.
This is Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
So already off the bat, like the "quit, give me a Tylenol" thing. And if I remember correctly, he actually has a problem with one of these two.
Oh, really?
Like
a
legit does
personal-
not like
okay.
them. I just don't remember which one.
Camera damage panderers and haunt you like the last Indiana.
Give me a Tylenol. Stop rhyming, y'all. Alfred, you got no style, dog. I'm the king of dialogue. There's only one movie I know you from, and I've seen more blood in the shower when I stub my toe in more.
So that was kind of a play, and kind of a diss on just classic horror, to be honest. Because all
and
classic
he's
horror
known
was
for
being
blood.
right.
Yeah.
He's honestly, it was my biggest complaint with Kill Bill, and I know a lot of people liked it. I didn't like the unrealistic blood spray,
Right.
which I know was the style he was going for. It was supposed to be comic booky,
Right.
but I am a Quentin Tarantino fan as a whole. I do like a lot of his movies. Pulp Fiction. Was he the one that did? Did he do Fight Club?
That I don't know.
I don't think he did. He might have. I don't. Fuck. And you know, I'm looking at my horror section. It wouldn't be in my horror section.
Right.
I can't remember any of his other shit off the top of my head
Django.
either. Huh?
Didn't he do Django?
He might have. I never saw that one.
No.
I saw the Kill Bills. I know he did. Didn't he do the Grindhouse movies too?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like those.
Again, though, because of the unrealism.
And the art style was a little weird for me.
I didn't mind those.
But no, I do enjoy his movies. He actually came under a lot of fire from somebody for dropping the N-word during a scene in the movie. It was during actually during Pulp Fiction. Remember after John Travolta accidentally blows the dude's brains out in the back of the car, and they go to the dude's house. That's Quentin Tarantino playing that guy.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "Dead black person storage." I'm not going to say what he actually said, but he actually caught a lot of shit for saying that.
Okay.
And I just kind of want to be like, I'm sorry, but if Samuel L. Jackson didn't haul off and knock him the fuck out there, I don't know why you're mad.
Why are you mad?
It was an art thing.
Right.
But no, it was, he's known for over-the-top blood. Whereas, again, back then, where my original thought was fucking going, before I digressed, older movies like the stuff Hitchcock did was known for actually pulling away during death scenes to make you kind of see it in your head, because the things you're going to picture in your head are always going to be far worse than what they're going to be able to paint, unless you're Rob Zombie.
True story.
Dialogue. There's only one movie I know you from, and I've seen more blood in the shower when I stub my toe in more. Tried to fight in World War I, but couldn't do that. The British Army wouldn't let you join because you were too fat. Look it up, it's a true fact. Wikipedia that. Now allow me to attack Stephen the Hack.
Okay.
Ooh. It might be Steven Spielberg that he has an issue with.
I think so. Yeah.
Due to War of the Worlds of failures, when I label you, it looked like some sellout bullshit Michael Bay would do.
They keep referencing Michael Bay.
Right?
So he's definitely going to be in
Nobody
this.
likes him.
Due to War of the Worlds of failures, when I label you, it looked like some sellout bullshit Michael Bay would do. Ask anybody, what's your favorite Sam Jackson part? No one's gonna say, what's his name from Jurassic Park?
I forgot Samuel L. Jackson was even in Jurassic Park.
How?
Although, to be fair, my favorite Sam Jackson part isn't from Pulp Fiction either.
What's your favorite?
Nick Fury. from Marvel.
Okay.
My favorite Jackson quote ever, though, is probably from Pulp Fiction. It's when he's reading off the Bible verse right before he kills people. He's not reading. He's reciting.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. He has a lot of my favorite Sam Jackson quotes from Pulp Fiction. It's not my favorite Sam Jackson part, but a lot of quotable stuff from Pulp Fiction. Like, say what again? Say what? One more goddamn time. I dare you. I double dare you. Sorry.
Scripts that I write ain't the cleanest. When I grit,
Damn.
no one's gonna say, what's his name from Jurassic Park? Scripts that I write ain't the...
Did he write the script for the original Shining?
You mean for the Kubrick version? I have no idea, but if he did,
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta Google this.
because that would be.
No.
Mm-mm.
Then what's the Shining reference for?
I don't know. We'll have to.
I'm confused. Maybe that was the point.
It's possible. Go ahead, let's see what.
Clean. When I grit mics, I'm the mean. Quentin Tarantino.
Maybe you think he's crazy?
I don't know.
Mentally unstable? Here's Johnny.
Scripts that I write ain't the cleanest. When I grit mics, I'm the mean. Quentin Tarantino is a genius. A bad motherfucker from the wallet to the penis.
Or it was someone else entering.
Huh?
Or it was someone else. It was someone else entering the battle, coming to join the party.
Was.
Genius is a powerful word, but there's no reason to use it unless you're talking about the Kubrick. And there's really nothing to it. Everything I do is visionary. Every single frame of painting made exactly how I wanna make it.
So is this supposed to be Kubrick?
Yeah. That's what that was.
My problem is the only thing I've ever heard of him, or heard about him, is The Shining.
Didn't he do Orange, Clockwork Orange? Which was also crazy as fuck.
I mean, if it is, that's two movies I've seen from him, and I actually like The Clockwork Orange.
Right.
I've never been a fan of The Shining. I like a couple scenes from The Shining.
I like the miniseries, which was done because the Kubrick version didn't follow the book.
Right.
I do is visionary. Every single frame of painting made exactly how I wanna make it. Do another take and get it right 127 times. I'll make you learn to love me on the bar. Jump over violent rhymes like clockwork. Make you all hurt. Beat Spielberg, the color purple. AI is the worst. Waste the potential since the Ninja Turtle.
Every one of these guys have trashed Michael Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. But I love how he kind of played into the movies from the other guys as well.
Beat Spielberg,
The Color Purple, which The Color Purple
Is a Hitchcock.
is a Hitchcock movie.
Yep.
color purple. AI is the worst.
And then AI is the worst waste of picture, which AI is artificial intelligence,
Which is Spielberg.
which is a Spielberg movie.
Waste the potential since the Ninja Turtles.
Enough! I've heard enough crap from all
Here comes
Here it
Michael
comes.
Bay.
Yeah, okay.
of you when I come down there and show you what a real star can do. I swoop low with the telephoto. No Bruckheimer, I work solo. If there's one thing I've learned, bitch, this game is about motherfucking money. I make that dollar, y'all. Motherfucking money. Make Mark Wahlberg make some motherfucking money.
Now, he's got a point, though. His movies do end up selling a lot because he does work a lot with very high IPs. Ninja Turtles, Transformers, like shit people want to have good movies about.
Right.
So he does make a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but Steven Spielberg did too, though.
He did. He did.
And Tarantino did. Alfred Hitchcock probably made the least, but then again, time change, time difference. It was
Yeah. Cost of living.
That dollar, y'all motherfucking money. Even make Mark Wahlberg make some motherfucking money. Shopping, got a few drops and I got milk money. Rose to the rock, now I got that socks made of silk money. I ain't got that guilt money, I don't give a fuck. I take my checks to the bank and I sign them with my nut.
Oh my god.
Did he... Who did the films Got Milk and The Rock?
It might have been him. But then again, I'm not 100% sure.
The
No, The Rock is
Rock
well
was
before him.
not...
Unless he's talking about the actor.
I don't think so. Because he said took him to The Rock.
Maybe Steven Spielberg.
I think Spielberg did The Rock. So again, they're listing movies that the other director... Okay.
Give the people what they love. All the critics say I'm evil. Got no time to read reviews while I'm working on the sequel. From above, the eyes of an eagle. When it comes to blowing up, no director is my equal.
Okay.
That's a double.
Yeah, because like you were saying,
It's
he
known
likes
for
to blow shit up.
exploding things. So with that being said, this is one of those cases where I find it okay for people to jump in because they came in and dissed everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one of those I'm coming in for defense of somebody.
Right. Plus, they were getting ragged on the whole time
Well,
by the other guys.
Michael
as
Bay
well.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they didn't really mention anything about Quentin or
Kubrick.
Kubrick
True.
until they came in. Over and above all, I still have to give the win to either Spielberg or Hitchcock. Because I don't feel like the other three had very creative lines. Even though Michael Bay signing something with his nuts was funny. I'll give him that.
His were the most humorous.
And his rap style was very... He just
Humorous.
didn't care. Right.
It was very humorous. And plus, he had that grand entrance. You know, come on.
Although Kubrick came in riding a fucking trike. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not the same as dropping out of a helicopter. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. I liked Hitchcock's flow better.
Like I said, I liked his delivery more than Spielberg's. There's been so much rapping, I don't remember much of Spielberg's verse now. Which I think is going to help me give Hitchcock the win.
Right.
Because if Spielberg's verse was really that
Memorable. I mean,
non-memorable-
he mentioned a whole bunch of the movies
Right, he was going back and forth.
and started in really quickly. I'm glad that he didn't have the whole I'm better than you kind of intro that doesn't come at someone directly, immediately.
Right, I remember he had the blockbuster line.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like another thing that kind of helps Hitchcock out, in my opinion, is a lot of his movies are very much sound driven as well as everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the subtle...
That's why he said he's an orchestra.
Right. So the subtle... Well, his nickname was also the conductor of horror or something like that.
Yeah, he was conductor.
But like the sudden like stab
Mm-hmm.
from the psycho in the middle of his verse. And I love the way they played into that too, because it was like stab, and then he said something about it was like I'm the, and then the stab came in, and then he said like thriller or surprise thrillers. I don't remember exactly right offhand.
I think he said he was the conductor of horror.
Um,
But I mean, yeah, he was known for not the sound bites that these other guys have had to operate off of, but actually being involved in the process of creating
Everything
sounds.
about the movie. Everything.
But going around and acoustically sampling everything, like stabbing a watermelon versus something else to get the right sound, and so on and so forth.
Right. But I think I got to give the win to Hitchcock. Just because, in my opinion, I think he was more memorable in the things that he said than Steven Spielberg was. And I only say that because, again, the other three guys kind of came in. I think the two worst verses definitely, in my opinion, go to Michael Bay and Kubrick. I think Quentin Tarantino's was decent. He's definitely a third place for me. So I guess that put Steven in second for me. And actually, even then, I think Tarantino could even take second if I went through and re-listened to everything and really focused.
I'd have to re-listen to place it that way, but I would put Hitchcock first. Because like I said, I also enjoyed his cadence and his flow on top of the bars and so on and so forth.
Right. It was a good rap battle, though.
Although I probably would have put Kubrick last.
I think my biggest problem also is also going into this not knowing much about either of these men other than the movies they've done. And even then, I kind of went in only knowing really two of Hitchcock's movies as opposed to like the plethora of Steven Spielberg movies that have dropped. And again, Stanley Kubrick, 2 whole movies that I've seen of his.
They didn't really list that many more that I'm aware of.
No. I mean, Michael Bay, he has quite a few movies out there, but
But again, they didn't list all that many of them.
I enjoyed the Ninja Turtle first movie. I never watched Out of the Shadows, which was the sequel. That he did.
I haven't seen either of them.
I don't like the Transformer movies. Now, before you guys persecute me, I didn't grow up a Transformers fan. It has nothing to do with the movies themselves. It's just, I could give 2 fucks less about robots. I'm not a robot person.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I don't watch a whole lot of anime. Anime is all about robot fighting, it seems. A lot of it is. I just... So what, you're a semi that could turn into a fucking humanoid fucking creature. Get the fuck out of here.
I have seen them, and I'm just kind of
honestly
not one way or the other about them.
The only version of Transformers I think I ever liked was Beast Wars. Beast Wars was a 3D...
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have watched.
Not like 3D in terms of like you had to put glasses on.
Oh, okay.
But done like... It was a TV show done like a Toy Story movie, but back when that kind of animation was still bad.
Right. Right.
Before they perfected it, but it was entertaining because they were animals also instead of just being vehicles. Again, that was another thing Transformers had going against it. I don't give a fuck about vehicles.
Right.
So all of a sudden now you're telling me I should like something when I don't give a fuck about robots or vehicles, and just because you merge them together, it's like, hey, you should really like no.
No.
But I mean, those are the only Michael Bay series I could think of off the top of my head. Too. It is fucking late. But yeah, I did enjoy the first Ninja Turtles after I got past how weird they looked.
Right.
I did enjoy the story, even though a lot of people have their complaints about it too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Alfred Hitchcock's taking this one for me.
I agree.
I don't think we've ever disagreed on a winner.
I don't know.
It's a lot of time to go back and watch through to find out. So it's just gonna stay there.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, guys, that is gonna do it for this reaction. If you guys liked the video, be sure to slash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below. What did you think of Steven Spielberg versus Alfred Hitchcock's epic rap battle? versus other people. Kubrick, Tarantino, and Bay. Although, once they started making fun of Michael Bay is when I started to remember that this was one where other people came in.
I didn't remember. It's just taking your word for it. I assumed Bay would come in. I didn't know. But yeah.
I love how everybody took shots at him. It's like you knew he was going to come in and it was going to be like, look, I'm tired of y'all making fun of me. Fuck y'all.
I make money.
I get money. Sorry. But yeah, comment down below who do you think won. Check the description below for the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, bitches, as well as the original link to this video. You also can find links to the bar Discord as well as the YouTube page. We're there.
Night, y'all.
Love y'all. Cannot wait to see Depraved people later. Peace. 40 minutes. Shit.